Yeah, and we're live. Welcome to Behind the Thrones. Today we're going to be talking about the season 8, episode 2, our predictions on it. We did touch upon that kind of at the end of we fanboyed Doku. Come on, be honest.
Yeah, we did, but I mean, come on, man. They've made us wait almost 2 freaking years for this, so it's kind of hard not to fawn over it just a little bit. But we did have some criticisms. We were somewhat fair with our assessment of the episode, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jensen was sick and missed the streams. So Jensen, a couple thoughts on the first episode. Was it what you expected? Did it let you down? And what's your rating of it? Doku and I gave it 6.5 out of 10.
To be honest, sorry. To be honest, I agree with your numbers. I really do. The thing I've got with it is, as ever, not enough Night King, but then again, Night King for life, bitches. And I'm not going to sorry. I'm going to try not to make any too deep a judgment about the show until episode 3, because after all, episode 1 and 2 of the season is them basically building up the shitstorm that's to come. Oh, trust me, if I see something that I don't like, I will have an opinion on that. But at this time, the show has done nothing to piss me off, and I like the basic idea. It looks like it's going well. Bring more Night King in, because Night King forever.
And actually, that reminds me, I've been trying to put my finger on it, and I just managed to figure it out the other day. What irritated me so much about episode 1? I said that it was too short, and they tried to cram too much into a small time slot. But what really annoys me about it, and the best analogy I can come up with, it's like playing a game of chess and then walking away from it for a month and then coming back and trying to remember whose turn it was. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, agreed.
So anyways,
Yeah.
just a brief aside before we get into really theorizing about what's going to go down in episode 2 and talk about the trailer a little bit. This dawned on me. So the mountain was resurrected, much in, you could argue, kind of in the same fashion that the White Walkers resurrect whites, except his eyes are red. Do you think R'hllor, the Lord of Light, do you think he has his own way of going about bringing back the dead besides just the kiss of life? Do you think that's some of the forbidden magic in the Citadel that got Qyburn expelled?
I don't know about that. What I do know is George had said that Jon Snow is not entirely who he used to be anymore after he got brought back, which he's kind of like a fire zombie where the Night King raises, ice zombies pretty much, the white. So
well, it just stuck out to me because instead of having the blue eyes, like I guess you could say the magic of the old gods, resurrection leads to those blue-colored eyes. But do the resurrected, like say if you're already dead, does that lead to having those red eyes because you're resurrected by the Lord of Light? I mean, I know this doesn't apply to the kiss of life, but going through, say, means that aren't done by a red priest, but used by, say, like someone like Qyburn, is that why the undead mountain has red eyes? I don't know, just kind of a fun little thing to talk about.
I'm confused on why he even has a head. In the books, they send the head to Dorne. He has no head.
That's a fair. Well, we all know the show is diverged from the books, not converged. Jesus, but I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting. Maybe it's just completely stylistic. I don't know. Perhaps it's just done to make people like me sit there and theorize about it when it's completely pointless.
Well, no, and I do want to ask Jensen this. What do you think about the little bear? She was kind of bitchy.
That's a way of putting it. Yeah. she definitely had her own opinions, didn't she?
Yeah, some very choice words to say the least.
In all fairness, as weird as this might sound, it's actually about time someone on there actually grew a pair of balls and said stuff, because too many people are, oh, the great Daenerys, oh, the great John. Sorry, no. They are just people, okay? They are just people, and sometimes it is good to have a normal person go, oi, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, and I refuse to call him Aegon. Sorry, that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Oh, that's
Fucking
his name.
no, it's not, because there was already an Aegon, freaking, that wasn't dead yet. Why the hell would you name two sons the same name?
Well, would you rather him be Aegon Targaryen Jr.?
No,
Oh
it
my
should have been
gosh.
Aegon Begon.
I'm sorry, it was too good of an opportunity. I couldn't pass it up.
Well, why wouldn't Lyanna have named him after her father or something? Or after his father? Why isn't his name Rhaegar? Why is it Aegon? That makes no fucking sense.
Who knows? I doubt it's
Well,
really
'cause
worth getting
Rhaegar
to.
already added Aegon as a son. He already that's who the Mountain kills. Is Aegon, Rhaegar's son, and he smashes him against the wall or whatever. Yeah, he already existed. Whatever. I digress. Fuck it. Fuck you, Dan and Dave. Fuck you. Okay. The trailer. All right. So I watched the trailer twice last night, but you watched it just right before we came live. So go ahead and walk us through the trailer and we'll talk about it a little bit.
All right, so there's not really a whole lot to unpack in this trailer. It's basically a teaser. I'm not even going to call it a trailer. It's a teaser. So of course we see Jaime standing in the I guess what you could call the throne room of Winterfell, and Daenerys is kind of intimidating. She doesn't like Jaime. Kind of killed her father. So Jaime looks a bit worried, as he should be. Now, what I want to know, does Bran tell them that Jaime was the one that tossed him out of the tower? Does Bran hold anything against Jaime? Because I don't think he would. And this is something that I'm very curious about, because in episode 1, he says, I'm not his brother. The obvious answer would be is because, well, technically, he's not Ned Stark's son. Bastard son.
Technically, they're cousins, right?
Yeah, so that would be the short answer. But what I'm really curious about, is that a subtle way of saying Bran Stark isn't even Bran Stark anymore? Because he refers to himself as the Three-Eyed Raven from this point on, and he doesn't have the same personality.
Well, but here's the thing also. What he says to Sam when Sam's like, what are you doing out here? He goes, I'm waiting on an old friend. He was waiting on Jaime. Mm-hmm. He called him a friend. Now, that could be threatening. I'm waiting on an old friend. I'm going to get my fucking comeuppance. You know what I mean? Or there might be something, big with Jaime here that Bran's already seen in one of his, tree god fucking vision quests. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because that's what got me thinking, like, I'm waiting on an old friend. So I doubt Bran's going to have any animosity towards him. And I do think if you're going to end on that note with Jaime showing up at Winterfell, there's probably going to be something big, and they're probably going to do exactly what they did in episode 1, where Bran's just like, oh yeah, the wall's breached, your dragon's been resurrected, quit bickering, shit's about to hit the fan.
Do you think Jon offers Jaime food? That way Jaime now has guest right, and can't be burnt by a dragon by Dany.
Oh, that's adorable.
It wouldn't surprise me if that would happen. It'll be very interesting to see if Bran actually reveals that Jaime's the one that pushed him out of the tower. If he does, Jon's probably going to be really pissed. But again, those words from Samwell might have sparked a little something in Jon, so he might not. It might be kind of the same reaction he had with Theon when he saw him again. So I don't. It'll be really interesting.
Or it could be the reaction he had after he got stabbed. I'ma hang some bitches.
Well, and also in the next part of the trailer, we have what looks to be Dany and Sansa talking to each other, and it's like you were a fool to trust Cersei, and obviously the rebuttal, so are you. Like anybody would be a fool to trust Cersei at this point. They're hammering that home pretty well. So that probably has something to do with Jaime showing up in Winterfell, and they're trying to figure out kind of what do we do with him. Either way, we know the first part of episode 2 is probably going to be dealing with Jaime and some of the other politics involved, but I doubt that's going to be the majority of the episode, like episode 1, because we see some interesting stuff, to say the least. So here's a big question I had. You see Jorah Mormont pulling out a sword and looking at it. What sword do you think that is? Because we know it's not Longclaw.
Oh, I know. It's Hartman. It's Samwell Tarly's sword.
That's kind of what I figured. But do you think there's a possibility that it's Dawn? Because we don't know what happened to that. We know Neddard Stark supposedly returned it, but that's in the books.
There's no supposedly with Ned. Come on. Ned took it back to Starfall.
Yeah, that's in the books, though. Do we think that Dan and Dave are going to pull a Dan and Dave, and somehow Jorah Mormont has Dawn for Lord knows whatever reason? Or do you think we'll even see Dawn at this point?
I don't know if Dawn will be a thing, although there are people that think Dawn was the sword in the Tower of Joy that's leaning there, right? By Lyanna's bed.
Yeah, it's possible, and the hilt does kind of suggest that it would be, but that could just be, again, something that Dan and Dave do to irritate fanboys like us.
How many weapons is Arya gonna have? Or I guess you didn't get to Arya yet, or she's not really in the trailer much, is she?
The only time we see Arya is her, again, they like to hanker back to the first season. It's her using a bow, and hey, what's up, Larry? No, it's her using a bow. I'm guessing those are dragon glass tipped arrows, and you hear her saying, "Death has many faces. I want to see this one." You think she could be talking about the Night King, or do you think Arya, if Bran does decide to reveal that Jaime's the one that pushed him out of the tower, do you think Arya might want to, pull a little finger on Jaime?
No, she's going to want to peel his face off and wear it while he's still alive.
Oh, wait a minute, Jensen. What if Arya does kill Jaime and take his face? There's some kind of glamour spell that would make her look like Jaime, right? So she could actually kill Cersei that way.
That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Really? You hadn't thought of that? Oh, shit. Sorry. Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. I've been working on the idea that's what they are going to do.
See, I always figured that, I don't know, I didn't think, because Jaime, let's look at it from a writer's perspective. Jaime has had a very long redemption arc from the beginning of the series, all the way from episode 1, all the way up until now. It would be kind of strange to just kill him off that quickly. Maybe after the long night is done, that's his penance. But I don't think Jaime's going to die in this episode. Maybe episode 4 or 5.
No, Jaime is when you see the season trailer, Jaime's at the battle for Winterfell. So he's not going to die here. Somebody's gonna stop Dany's freaking I'm sorry, I'm still going off the theory that she is the Mad Queen. Not Cersei, it's Dany. I mean, her and those dragons, she gets in a fucking mood and you're dead. I'd hate to be her husband and piss her off.
Yeah, Daenerys I mean, they kind of try to prop her up as this sort of benevolent person, but that veil has slowly deteriorated. Like you look at some of the stuff that Danny has done, she's no different. Uh, she thinks she's doing the right thing, but questionable.
All right, so continue on through the trailer, and then we'll just go with some theory crafting for a while.
Yeah, so there's only two things we really see in the trailer after this point. We see a trebuchet, and it's it's clearly pointed away from Winterfell. You can tell that's Winterfell because of the circular keep.
I want to talk about that, and that's why I'm going to stop you right here. Why are they going to battle the Night King and the dead in the open field? Why would you have your trebuchets outside the walls? What are you doing? Trying to let them win?
Yeah, it's not and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it too. Like, it's not like the Battle of Gondor where you have the trebuchets on the castle walls or anything, which makes a lot more sense. Like, I don't know, maybe are they pulling a like the opening scene from Gladiator? Do they have like pots with like burning pitch that they're going to toss at the army of whites and like hope to kind of create a pseudo, for lack of a better term, pun not intended, a wall of fire?
Is this Danny being arrogant and not knowing what she's up against? She's got her Unsullied out there. She can move the Dothraki around in the open field, and she's got dragons. She doesn't think she needs to hide behind some walls, right?
And that's a potential possibility. Or maybe we did see the one guy. Damn it! Why do I forget his name? The dude who always has his beard crossed. The one that was talking to Sansa. Help me here, Mad Dodge. What is his name?
Oh yeah, the Castellan for the Eyrie. I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, do you think maybe Sansa is gonna be the one to betray Danny? Do you think there might be
Would that even
fight?
be a betrayal? Has Sansa bent the knee? And I didn't notice it?
I mean, we'll see how they do it, but do you think there's maybe going to be perhaps a rebellion or an uprising of some sort? Like maybe that trebuchet is not attacking the army of the dead because it is during daytime. If the army of the dead was there, that sky would be pitch fucking black.
I think they're more setting up the distances. Have you seen the movie Kingdom of Heaven?
Yeah.
So the way he maps out the battlefield and tests out the range for the incoming Islamic army, of Saladin. Maybe
that could be it.
For the dead here, so they're measuring out. Okay, so we attack as soon as they hit this spot, and we just keep attacking, and
that could be a possibility. That would be a very interesting twist.
I still don't know why the trebuchets would be outside the walls. That makes no sense. They're the most vulnerable thing. Put them on top of the wall. And if you want your Unsullied out in the field and Dothraki out there, be my guest, Danny. But I'd rather have them on the walls. The dead are not going to siege Winterfell and try and starve you out. They are going to come and they're going to try and break down Winterfell.
Yeah, they're going to swarm it. They're going to pull a World War Z, and they're going to crawl up that wall the same way they did in Israel in that movie. Like, we've seen them do it before. They'll do it again.
Well, no, and it understands the term. They're going to zerg the fucking place. That is exactly what's going to happen. The undead do not care about losses. Oh no, we lost 1,000 people to kill one. Who cares? Keep going. That's why I love the undead. You can't stop them unless you kill them all.
Well, Dan and Dave created a cheat, though. You can kill the White Walkers, and that'll take out a portion that they control.
And actually, that's something I kind of wanted to talk about with the hierarchy of how the White Walkers are. So you definitely have the Night King at the top. You know that White Walkers are created from a living human baby, presumably only a male. And then we've only seen the Night King resurrect whites after they've been killed. So you definitely can't turn a dead person into a White Walker. So is it possible that White Walkers can resurrect whites of their own accord? Because if episode 1, the opening indicates anything, that should be a possibility. So maybe that's what they're hinting at, and they just kind of, I don't know, forgot about it for a few seasons?
I don't know, but I do know I am looking forward to this dragon battle, right? Because we know there's going to be Jon and Dany each on a dragon, and they're going to go right at the freaking Night's King. And this
it'll be like Dance to the Dragons, but this time around there's a white dragon.
Yeah, but Jon and Dany, really all they have to do, right, is get close enough to him to hit him with some dragon glass.
Yeah, but again, we've already seen, it looks like the Night King is far more adept at being a dragon rider than either Jon or Dany. And Viserion undead Viserion specifically, is fast as shit. So it might not be that easy.
You know what I don't understand is in the graphic novels, they show the dragon riders, the Targaryens of old, and they have saddles on their dragons. Is Dany just an idiot?
Well, if you remember the Dance of Dragons, I forget the names because there's too many damn characters in this story. The one guy who won the duel between dragon riders didn't have a saddle, so that he jumped off his dragon and impaled the dude through the heart because he had a saddle and he couldn't get off. And they both fell into I believe it was the God's Eye, the lake around the God's Eye.
Oh, okay.
So having a saddle might not necessarily be the best thing.
I would prefer, like, if my dragon starts flipping upside down, to not fall off my dragon. Oh, I'll choose the saddle.
Yeah, it all depends on how well you can hang on, I suppose.
Well,
sorry to interrupt, but have either of you two ever read the book series Dragonlance?
I have not.
Oh my golly. You might want to take a look at the series. It is all about dragons coming back and kicking ass and sort of shit that they're doing. It gives you an interesting look at the sort of things that George probably actually stole an F-load of ideas from. And yes, screw you, Mad. I don't care what you say. That guy has been nicking shit from lots of other authors out there. Just take a look at it at some point, mate. Dragonlance by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman.
Well, and just to be fair, there is no such thing as an original idea at this point in time. You can only repackage it and put a different spin on it. And as they say, imitation is the best form of flattery, I suppose. So I'm not going to knock George too much on it as long as it's not too blatant. But I haven't read the series, so that's just my 2 cents.
Well, no, and George has admitted that he gets a lot of inspiration from Lovecraft, especially. And there is some Lovecraftian type ideas in A Song of Ice and Fire, and even more so in his sci-fi works.
Oh yeah, he's flat out said that. So I mean, I got to give him props when that's concerned. But since we're on the topic of dragons, just something I want to see, just because it's a personal thing for me. I don't want to see undead Viserion's blue flame just burn people, except the flame's a different color. I want to see people shatter like it would if the White Walker got hit by dragon glass. Just a stylistic element, I think, would be a lot more visually pleasing.
No, and that leads me up to my... well, no, you said there was one more thing in the trailer. So let's cover that last thing, and then we'll start theory crafting here. Because I want to talk about Arya and that weapon she's going to have Gendry make.
Okay, yeah. So the last thing we see is the night is dark, and we see everybody preparing for a battle. And we see Greyjoy and... what's her name? It begins with an M, that's all I remember. But we see them kiss, so maybe Greyjoy's gonna die? Or Grey Worm? Sorry, not Greyjoy. Grey Worm.
Okay, that's why you confused me. Yeah, Grey Worm. Well, he is the commander of the Unsullied. He's going to be in the front. So, yeah, he's dead. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
That's the first army of the dead coming at you, and you're on the front line.
Yeah, it's not a desirable place to be, to say the least. So yeah, I think Grey Worm. It's been nice knowing you, dude. You've been an honorable guy, but I think your days are numbered.
Is he a guy? I digress.
Bad. Low hanging fruit there, Matt.
Well, hey,
But
if
yeah,
if Tyrion can make ball jokes, so can I. All right.
But yeah, that's the last thing we see is forming ranks and a very, very, very dark night. But no wind, no snow. So I don't know if we're gonna see any White Walker action. I think that's gonna be our cliffhanger. Is the dead are on the march, and as Tormund says, how long do we got till the sun comes up? The war for the dawn begins.
I like
Personally, I think it'd be hilarious if the dead just walked round the keep and just ignore it. That's just going to be a big ass middle finger to the lot of them, because I think that is what should happen.
You know what they should have done? Pull all the way back, empty all the castles, take everything, because they had a head start, right? And head for the neck. You hold the wall at the neck, the thinnest portion where you can concentrate your troops and kind of pull a Sparta 300. And you funnel all their numbers into a line coming right at you, and you just hold that line. And you just kill and kill and kill.
And then again, though, you're still forgetting Undead Viserion is clearly faster than living Drogon and living Rhaegal. There's nothing to stop the Night King from just strafing that section and just taking out your numbers. He could just swoop right past them. So I don't know. I think holding Winterfell might be the better option. And just another side note, real quick. We already know they took out the last Hearth. They could easily have already taken out Bear Island. And who's to say if a white...
I still don't think they could freeze the sea and get over the Bear Island. But we go ahead. I cut you off again. I keep doing it. Go ahead.
It's all good. And no, just for that, I mean, you wouldn't need necessarily to besiege it with the army of the dead. Who's to say the Night King didn't do a preemptive strike and just torch the damn thing and call it a day? But no, the other thing, if whites can resurrect, or if White Walkers can resurrect whites that are under their own command, because they do kind of refer to them as generals. I forget where it was. But who's to say that he didn't send a preliminary attack against any of the other castles on the wall just to bolster his forces? Like, let's say you're expecting the Night King to come from the east, and then all of a sudden you have a pincer attack and you have another separate, smaller army coming straight down from the north. I mean, that would kind of fuck up the entire plan. You'd be forced to retreat inside the walls or run.
Yeah. Okay. The dead shows up. I know this is kind of prediction for episode 3 in a way, but we don't know exactly when the dead are going to show up. They could show up halfway through. This could be what's the runtime on this episode? Jensen, can you look that up real quick?
What, on episode 1?
Or no, episode 2. They should have already announced the runtimes.
I swear to God, if it's less than an hour, I'm going to be pissed, because that is still my number one problem with the first episode. Is like, come on, man, really? Less than an hour?
Because they have what, an hour and a half episode, and shit like that for this season. So if this is the longer episode,
I think they said the longest runtime of any of the episodes was something like an hour and 47 or 48 minutes, something like that.
And do you think that'll be episode 3 then? Probably the actual just an hour and 40-minute battle. That sounds epic. and they said it's going to be the biggest battle ever on TV.
I really hope so. Like, I mean, come on, let's think about it. Like the Siege at Castle Black, Battle of the Bastards, the Battle of the Blackwater. Just take all of that, throw some dragons in there. You get the castle siege, you get the open field battle, you get some cavalry action, you get Dance of the Dragons, like all in one episode. To pull a Thanos, that would put a smile on my face.
But I want to know if the Night King can raise the dead out of the crypts of Winterfell. The story goes that the swords are there to keep the dead trapped in, to keep them in. Well, Bran and his merry little band of misfits in season 1 or season 2, right? Yeah, it was season 2. Took the swords when Theon sacked Winterfell, and they escaped. So the dead can walk in there again, at least as far as legends are concerned. Now you have the Night's King who can literally raise the dead showing up. Could you imagine Ned Stark rising from the dead? Like Sean Bean coming in for one more death?
I mean,
you asked how long the episodes were. First one, 54. Second is said to be 58. After that, each of the final 4 will hover around the 80-minute mark.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks,
no problem.
Jensen. So
we'll
be
bitching about pacing again Sunday.
Yeah, we're not gonna get any of our White Walker action, it looks like, but that should just make episode 3 that much better. Hopefully.
So the rumor is it's Epi 3 before we actually get to see the good stuff. So yeah, is what it is.
As long as it delivers.
Agree.
So, do you think Theon has the transporter technology? He's going to show up this coming up episode in Winterfell.
You mean he's going to pull a Gendry?
Yeah, he can run really fast, right? He's got no balls to slow him down.
I mean, at this point in time, with the way they've been doing pacing, it wouldn't surprise me if Theon shows up in this episode, along with, I mean, where the fuck is Brianna Tarth? We didn't see a hint of her. So hopefully she shows up, and since Jaime's here, maybe that's what they're saving her appearance for. But yeah, Theon will probably show up because Dan and Dave in the last season kind of got their pacing a little too eager, a little too vigorous.
Yeah, I don't know. But okay, Arya and this staff slash detachable spear thing. Is she gonna kill the Night's King?
I think she'll make an attempt at it. I don't know.
I can see Dan and Dave doing this. I can see them being like, we've built up this White Walker thing for so long. We're going to end it in episode 3. We're going to kill the Night King. And then we're going to wrap it up, the whole series up, with everybody headed south to King's Landing. And you're going to have a battle between Cersei and Dany.
See, if that happens, I'll be so fucking irritated.
Same.
I wouldn't mind. Okay, I wouldn't mind if they did this. If the army that attacks Winterfell is only a portion of the Night King's army, and the Night King isn't even there. He's headed towards the God's Eye. And then from there, going to King's Landing to completely torch the Red Keep. I would rather see that than just having the Night King get murked in the 3rd episode by Arya.
Or is she gonna get the dragon? That's the more logical, because you don't want what you hyped up since episode 1, season 1, to just be gone. That's gotta have a good, solid ending to it. You can't it's not Littlefinger. You can't Littlefinger the fucking Night's King.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to kind of mirror it where an obsidian or dragon glass spear kills the undead dragon, whereas the ice spear killed the living one. I mean, yeah, that would. I could see Dan and Dave doing that, but killing the Night King like that, I don't know. That would be kind of a spit in the face of the fans, in my opinion.
All right. So now, specifically for episode 2, the Jamie situation. Do you think Bran's actually going to come out and support Jamie and back him up, and that's how Jamie's going to get out of this? Because Danny, when she's mad at somebody, she tends to just kill them.
Yeah, I think Bran, if anything, Bran will say you can't kill him. He still has a role to play, something along those lines. If anyone saves him, I think it will be either Jon Snow or Bran, without a doubt, because Sansa, Arya, and Dany definitely want his ass dead.
What about you, Jensen? What do you think?
Well, right. First off, I hate to say it, but I think Jamie's actually going to get away with most of the shit he's actually done throughout this entire series, because it's the whole redemption arc. I do hope the venom came across in my voice. I'm not sure if it did. The thing is we're sitting there saying, oh, Bran's just going to say this. Oh, John's going to say this. Who says Dany's going to give a shit? Okay. She is not beholden to either of them. And all it takes.
Yeah, but Danny's going to kind of listen to who's giving her the D. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of this. Sorry to cut you off there, Jensen, but I'm surprised this completely slipped my mind. The one thing that actually might save Jamie's ass would probably be the fact that he's like, hey, look, I know you hate me. I know you want to kill me. I didn't come here for atonement. I came here to warn you. Cersei's going to betray you. She has no intention of sending her armies north. She wants to let you kill each other. I came here to fight in the war for the Dawn. Let me fight for you, and then you can take my life. That might be the one thing that saves his ass.
Agree.
Either that or Brienne, who I do think Brienne and Podrick will show up as well. They'll be there for the battle. So I'm betting they'll show up on Sunday. Brienne will go to bat for Jamie. I think Brienne loves him, actually.
Agreed. Yeah, I think Brienne and Bran, God, George R. R. Martin, you and your freaking names. Brienne and Bran will both definitely back Jamie. Jon Snow's probably going to be the one to make the call. Sansa, Arya, Dany definitely are going to want to kill him. And then the fact that, and because we've seen Jamie do this before, like he's become much more honorable than he was at the beginning of the season, and giving them the information that, hey, look, Euron didn't run. He went to go get the Golden Company. Cersei's going to betray you. I came here to warn you and then help you fight because I'm going to keep my word. With those, I think that's how it's going to happen. That's probably going to be the first, 15 to 18 minutes of this episode. We'll probably eat up most of that plot arc.
Okay. How about in the trailer you see Dany and Sansa talking, right? What do you think that conversation is about? What do you think they're discussing? Because they don't really show any dialogue there.
See, well, the only thing we get from that is you're a fool to trust Cersei, and then so were you. So they're probably talking in private about, and this is why I think Jamie is going to tell them, and I mean, it should be obvious. Look, Cersei's going to betray you. She bought the Golden Company. They're on their way over from Essos. They're probably talking about that. At least that's all I can really get from the trailer.
Did they edit Jon out? Maybe he's off to the side, or are they talking amongst themselves? Why is Jon not there? Is Dany feeling isolated from Jon because he spilt the beans immediately about who he is? Once he tells her,
reminds me. Hold on, I got to cut you off, Mad Dodge. That reminds me of something I meant to mention. In the trailer, we see Jon Snow in the crypts still looking at a statue. We don't know whose it is, and Dany is there. Does Jon Snow reveal that he's a Stark and a Targaryen and the heir to the Iron Throne? Like, this is what Sam told me. and he tells Danny, and Danny doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why John isn't there.
No, well, that's what I was saying. Is I think he tells her right then, and that's Liana's statue that he's looking at. I bet you $1 million.
I agree.
So, what I think is going to happen is John is an honorable guy to a fault. It's gotten him stabbed, you know.
Stabbed quite a few times through the heart,
Yeah.
no less.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to tell her, and she's going to be pissed. And then she's going to think to herself, well, we're Targaryens, so the relationship is still a go, you know, because she already expected to marry her brother, for God's sake. What's her fucking nephew? I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
it's probably going to be a little rocky, to say the least, but I think that scene with Sansa and Danny, I think they are talking amongst themselves, and I think it's specifically Danny sitting in her chambers, contemplating what, you know, the truth bomb that John just gave her. And that's when Sansa comes in to talk. And they'll probably discuss Jon's lineage along with Cersei's betrayal. That's probably what that scene is about.
Yeah, no, and I think Danny will be mad initially. But then she's going to realize, well, the relationship is still okay because, well, I'm a Targaryen and I'm nasty anyway. And then she's also going to realize, well, that makes us king and queen. What's wrong with that?
Wait a second. I didn't even think about this. Now, they didn't hint at this in the trailer, but I'm going to just speculate for the sake of speculation. Since Dan and Dave have been very, very liberal with their pacing, what if Danny already knows she's pregnant?
Do you think Danny's going to get pregnant from Jon? I'm in the camp of I think she probably will and already has. I kind of agree with you, but there's no guarantee of that.
I think it's yes, because the idea of pregnancy, lineage, heritage, claim to whatever is a big part of this show. And let's be honest, they kind of hinted at it at the Dragon Pit, you know, and then they made Whoopi. So I would be really surprised if that was all for naught, just for the sake of Dan and Dave being to point the finger and laugh at all of us fanboys and speculators. I think she will have a child, and that child will probably be the one to sit on the Iron Throne. I don't think Jon wants anything to do with it.
Be really kind of fun if Cersei finds out about the kid just after she loses hers, though. That'd be a nice thumb right up her ass, wouldn't it?
That would be. We all like to see the cunts, the bitches, and the assholes get their comeuppance. So it would be really nice if Dany finds out she's pregnant at the same time Cersei miscarries. That would be a very nice. Fans would cheer to the frickin'. They would scream at the skies.
Huh? Only death can pay for life.
Yeah, interesting little parallel there. That I would like to see that. I hope they do that. Even if it comes not in episode 2 but episode 4, as long as it happens, I'll applaud that.
I think Jon will sit the Iron Throne. And I know this isn't predictions about the whole end of the show, so I'll try and refrain from that for the most part. But I think Jon's going to survive this. I'm not necessarily sure Dany is.
Yeah, I've already said that I think Dany is going to die in childbirth. The same way that who was Tywin Lannister's wife? The same way she died when she gave birth to Tyrion. It would be ironic because Tyrion's now the Hand of the Queen. It would kind of fit.
Yeah.
You put a nice little bow on everything. Here's
the thing, too. All right, so I've been watching other YouTubers speculate as well. They think Tyrion's going to turn on Dany.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're getting that idea from the scene in episode 1 where Varys tells Tyrion all things come to an end.
See, if anything, if anyone that is close to Dany is going to turn on her, I say it's going to be Varys.
Varys will turn on anybody. Just look at, yeah, come on.
Yeah, I think it's Varys. It would not surprise me. The Spider is well known for playing both sides of the coin just as much as Littlefinger was. So Varys might see this as a losing battle, and he might want to be on the side of the winning side, which in his mind would probably be Cersei, who's probably still not as inclined to kill him as, say, Tyrion.
So are we going to see any more Arya and Gendry shipping going on in the next episode? Because yeah, especially the female YouTubers out there are really shipping this Arya and Gendry idea. I don't know.
Well, so these have always kind of been my predictions since about season 5. By the time everything is said and done, Sansa will have Winterfell. If Dany survives, it'll be Jon and Dany that have the Red Keep. I have no idea who's going to have Dragonstone. Maybe Bronn. Yeah, it might be a little ironic to have Bronn sit on the throne. There's the castle you promised. By the way, terrified of fucking dragons. Or even more ironic if the Hound sits on Dragonstone. That would just be fucking hilarious. Gendry and Arya together at Storm's End. We can just forget about Dorne at this point. Obviously, we know Sam is the only heir to what is it? Not Highgarden. It's a Highgarden? I forget.
Highgarden is the seat of
oh, that's the Gardeners.
yeah. Well, that it used to be. It's now the Tyrells, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or no,
Actually,
now do the Tyrells, are they even still alive? I thought Jaime killed them all.
yeah, I think all the Tyrells are dead now at this point, so maybe Sam just gets all of those lands. Tyrion definitely, either Tyrion or Jaime, if Jaime survives, one of the two will take Casterly Rock. Who's gonna take the twins? That would be interesting.
Arya.
If Arya gets the twins, that would be just oh man.
Guys, Very Dead Horse says Tyrion gets the Iron Throne, calling it.
that would be funny.
Yeah, long time no see, buddy. Glad to see you're still around. Yeah, sorry about the kids. But no, I don't know. Tyrion gets the Iron Throne. I don't think so.
Actually, how funny would it be if Tyrion got Casterly Rock? Just because I know they didn't. I don't know if they mentioned this in the show, but in the books, Jaime's sitting on the Iron Throne after he kills the Mad King, and they're like, it's like, do you? I forget who it was that asked him this. Like, do you seek to take the throne for yourself? And he goes, you can have your bloody throne. It's uncomfortable anyways. How ironic would it be if Jaime's the one sitting on the Iron Throne? Just for shits and giggles. I know that probably won't happen.
Looking at the chat, Dead Horse says Jaime's going to kill Cersei. Well, actually, I brought up an idea earlier before you jumped into the chat. I think Arya could kill Jaime and steal his face and then kill Cersei. I doubt it'll happen, but that would be really entertaining.
And it would be entertaining to watch, but I don't know. I don't think Jaime's going to die at the end of everything.
What? Come on. Kill him and take his solid gold hand. That thing's got to be worth a bundle.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
They've just spent... leg, so, sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
Damn it, Jensen. No, I don't know. They've spent a lot of time on Jaime's character arc, but no one's safe in this show. But I don't think Jaime's going to die. I really don't.
So, once again, back to the next episode that's, this coming up one. Is Sansa going to start to mend things with Dany? Because Dany had a veiled threat there in episode 1, right? She told Jon, if she's not going to respect me, and then it kind of cuts off. I'm pretty sure we all know where that leads. Dragon, fire, death.
Subtle clues.
And the thing is, between Dany and Sansa, they're both very very strong leaders from a political standpoint. Again, Sansa learned from two of the best, Cersei and Littlefinger. So I think they will have some mutual respect, even if they don't necessarily like each other. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, so Bowling Company's at King's Landing. Where's the Cersei story gonna go? If we see it at all, because it's kind of just stagnant at this point, right? What's the point of going to King's Landing at all?
And that's the one thing I noticed about this trailer. We didn't see any Cersei, we didn't see any of the Greyjoys, we didn't see anything about the Golden Company. Do you think they'll even pop up at all in this episode? I don't think it will. I think that's episode 4 when that plot arc's really going to start to take off.
Just want to point out, Horse is attempting to ship everybody in this show. You guys might want to have a good laugh at this.
Oh God, Rule 34 challenge reinitiated.
Yeah, Danny and Sansa are gonna fuck in a porno somewhere on the internet. I'm sure they already have. Oh shit. Any dragons gonna die this coming up episode? I doubt it, because I don't know if the battle's gonna even start. I would like to see them start it this episode though, and then have it all of episode 3 as well, and just make it as epic as they've bragged about, because HBO, if you fuck up this battle, you fuck up the whole season. And then,
if they fuck up the battle for Winterfell, there's gonna be a lot of really mad fanboys. Myself will be one of them.
You fuck up, if you fuck up the battle for Winterfell, you fuck up not only season 8, but the whole damn show, because you decided in your grand and glorious mind that you wanted to wrap it all up here, when even HBO said, guys, there's 2 more seasons worth of shit here. And they're like, nope, we're done. We're out. Okay, you better get it right.
And this just hit me. I've been saying, if the Night King and the White Walkers stand around the lake surrounding Bear Island long enough, it'll freeze over and they can walk across it. We've seen the giants can already walk out to sea far enough that they can get to the ships that are all posted out, just out of the harbor. What if they just send the giants and just have them crush everything? Because we know they have undead giants.
Okay, I must be missing something in these conversations, but why is it people think that the undead are going to give a shit about the freezing cold water? They will literally march across the bottom of the along the seabed, walk out of the goddamn water. Oh no, they're cold. What are they? Oh, that's right, they don't give a shit. And that is going to terrify the living snot out of anything seeing it. People just seem to be confused about the undead. It must be because, as everyone knows, undead breathe air. Oh, no, that's right. No, they don't.
Actually, it would be really... I don't know if they'll show this. I was kind of irritated with episode 1. We didn't get to see the last hearth actually get completely swarmed. But that jump scare, I guess, supposedly offsets my disappointment. I would love to see, just from the perspective of the battlements on Bear Island, just the undead jumping into the water and then just coming up on the other side. That would make for some nice visuals.
No, I said this before when we had our reaction, and I'll say it again. This is not Pirates of the Caribbean. No, I don't want to see the fucking White Walkers walking on the ocean, on the freaking seabed. No, that's Pirates of the Caribbean did it. All right? It's been done.
Well, here's the thing. They said the dead can't swim. They sink, but that doesn't necessarily mean they die. And also that begs the question, how did they, and everybody's asked it before already, I know, how did they get Viserion's corpse out of the lake? Well, just have a bunch of whites sink down there and yank his ass up, or attach the chains.
That would be something. They all run to the Iron Islands out of nowhere, right? Like Yara was talking about. Hey, we could always fall back there. We'll be fine. And then, you have the dead show up at the Iron Islands, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Because,
real quick, Mad Dodge. Mr. Stonely wants to know, why is everybody so sober? Don't worry, Mr. Stonely, we're working on it.
Yeah, I just grabbed my second beer, actually. Good timing.
Here's another thought for you. You're saying about the dead can't travel across the water. They might not need to. Flap, flap, raise dead. Oh, look, that's your island now screwed. Just
Well, no,
saying.
yeah, no. And what I was going to say is the Iron Islands have this saying, what is dead may never die. Is that because the dead rose out of the freaking water during the long night? You know, that might create a fucking religion.
That and the fact
Yeah.
that they stole that from Lovecraft.
Yeah, and they do have a habit of if somebody wants to sit on the throne of the drowned god, they kind of have a habit of, drowning people. So it'd be kind of funny to see an army of the dead just get resurrected out of the water and just swarm the Iron Islands out of nowhere. Be kind of funny.
Am I the only one who's disappointed we're probably not going to get to see a Kraken?
I was kind of hoping to see a Kraken, and oh god, can you imagine an undead Kraken? We got White Walker dragons. Why not White Walker Krakens? Might fuck up Euron's day a little bit.
Yeah, but the CGI cost on a giant squid rising out with freaking ice blue eyes and shit. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to work.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past HBO. They've thrown a lot of money at this show, and it is the final season. It would be fun to see. I doubt we'll see it, but if I do, I'm definitely not complaining.
No, and I'm putting it out here right now. Where the fuck is Ghost? Why have we not seen a Ghost meets the fucking dragon yet? What the hell?
Ghost and Nymeria. Like, do you think we'll see Nymeria and her pack show up?
Yes.
That would be something, right? It attacks the undead or whatever, the army of the dead. That'd be a great. Giant wolf pack with Ghost and Nymeria leading it. That's where Ghost is.
No. I disagree. I think it'd be better to have the wolf pack attack when they're going against Cersei. I think that would actually be a lot cooler.
Oh man! Imagine Nymeria ripping out Cersei's throat while Arya just sits back and watches. That would be nice. And also, Mr. Stoneley, let's burn down a church. Pick a church, any church. We already blew up the Sept in the last season, so pick a weirwood tree, any weirwood tree. Oh, and actually, this is something else I wanted to bring up. Do you think the reason the Night King is going after Winterfell doesn't have anything to do with Jon or Dany, but the fact that he wants to destroy that weirwood tree? Because we know how the Night King feels about weirwood trees.
I don't know what you mean. It's not like anything to do with the weirwood trees has had anything to fuck him up, has it?
Or the old gods, or the children of the forest. Yeah, the Night King totally loves them. He's very tolerant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't rape Sansa anyway. I'm sorry. I saw a story about Sargon earlier, and I know it's off topic, so we won't go into it. But damn it. Okay.
What has been memed may never die.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally blew my train of thought.
Trees got rope burn. Yeah. Mr. Stoneley, you're having fun today, aren't you? Embrace the clown world.
Yes. Yeah, and if you haven't seen the new trailer, go check it out. If you want to get free of the clown world, join us.
That reminds me, speaking of clowns, Jensen, I assume you're a book reader. But
yes.
Are either of you kind of irritated they never included Patchface?
Oh yeah, his fucking funny ass little rambles and semi prophecies would have been great. I'm gonna go step to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, mate. And I have never read any of the sorry, breathing. I've never actually read any of the books for this series. I've only ever watched the TV series itself, which is why I actually judge the TV series the way I do. Okay. Now, I accept maybe Martin wasn't completely ripping off everybody left, right, and centre, but I am stating for a goddamn fact that pretty much everything HBO has done is basically just a rip-off of the Lich King from World of Warcraft.
It does have some strong parallels. I will give you that. That is for sure. With
Yeah,
so I guess if we're going to talk about that for a little bit, as someone who is fancies myself a writer, not an author, but a writer. Back on my previous statement of there is no such thing as an original idea, George R. R. Martin has taken a healthy amount of inspiration, but he still puts his own unique spin and perspective on it. So I'm not going to call him a complete and utter, what's the word we use?
plagiarist.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. I'm still going to give him creative credit. Now, when it comes to HBO, they've left out some things, they've changed some things, and until we get the books, The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring, I don't know how much they've actually ripped off, but there's definitely a lot of healthy inspiration taken from other works. So time will tell, I suppose, if the books ever fucking get released. That is.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm still wanting to know what's going on with Lady Stoneheart, because she ain't done dick all, but she's supposed to be this big, oh my god thing. And what do we know for those of us that haven't read the books? As far as we're concerned, Lady who?
Yeah, she's never going to show up in the show. Dan and Dave already said that. But Lady Stoneheart is Catelyn Stark. She is found washed up on the river in the Trident, and she is found by Beric Dondarrion, not Benedict.
Yeah, I saw what you did there, Matt.
um,
Yeah, Beric and Thoros of Myr.
yeah. And so she is given the whatever the same thing that happened to John. What do they call it? The kiss of it's not the kiss of death. It's
the kiss of life.
Yeah, whatever. But she's brought back, and then so Thoros then dies or whatever. But she's now a zombie pretty much running around the Riverlands, killing any Frey or fucking Lannister she comes across. Or anybody she feels has helped the Lannisters. Like Brianna Tarth, right now in the books, is hanging by a noose.
Oh.
And
yeah, the books are completely fucking different. Like, hey, guess what? Thoros doesn't die by an undead bear.
Yeah, Thoros is already dead well before that. But yeah, Brienne is hanging, and her last words are that she'll take the deal, which is go and kill Jaime for Catelyn to spare her life.
Yeah, no, and also apparently in the books, Stannis isn't dead, and Theon gets captured by Stannis. Stannis, if George R. R. Martin's preview chapters are still accurate, if he hasn't fucking completely changed it.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay, what else could possibly happen in the next episode besides Sansa and Dany being bitches?
I think Arya is actually going to have some rather proficient archery skills, since they threw that in the trailer for seemingly no reason. I have no idea where they're going with that, but yeah, I think we could see Arya maybe take out a White Walker or two at Faces of Death. What if Arya uses a White Walker face? That I doubt this will happen, but how interesting would that be?
I don't know. How long until see if they do go to King's Landing, they'll go there so they could find out that Yara has escaped. Do you think they'll end up doing that?
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get any serious White Walker battle action if the trailer is to be trusted, which probably shouldn't be. But I think they'll maybe dedicate a couple minutes to Euron finding out that Yara has escaped and him kind of losing his proverbial shit. I would suppose, at least. I don't know. If we see anything involving the Golden Company, Euron, or Cersei, maybe 20 minutes of the episode at most.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Okay, do you think this next episode's gonna be better or worse than episode 1? I'm hoping that it's better, but I don't know. If they don't show any of the battle at all, it might be a worse episode.
Yeah, I think it's. I'll see if I have the same opinion when we actually do watch the episode and then review it, but I have a feeling I'm going to be giving this one a solid 5. Not good, not bad, just right in the middle.
Filler episode.
Yeah, what do you think, Jensen? Do you think it's going to be better, worse, about the same as episode 1?
Sorry. As I said, I think it's going to end up being a kind of filler episode, building us up ready for the complete shitstorm that is to come. The problem is if they start too good early on, then they've got nothing to build up to because they've already started doing the good shit. I think they're actually doing it quite well, even though it's going to be annoying for us that just give us what we want. No, I actually think they're doing it the right way, annoying as that is.
My complaint would be if you're going to have just a 6-episode season, then you don't need more than one episode to build us up. You built us up in episode 1. Have the political intrigue that we all know and love, and have Braun show up. I would like to see. I forgot about that aspect because I don't think he's going to kill the Lannister brothers. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to take the money and go and join them. But there's my theory on that. But yeah, you don't need 2 build-up episodes. You only have 6 total. And when you used to only have 10, when I was growing up, we had 24 or more episodes per season, right?
Yeah, no, a 6-episode season is very short. So, I don't know. I'm hoping to get at least one battle, or at least some of it. Even if it's just a short, like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I have crying going on if you could talk for a second.
Yeah, no worries. So, no, I think the majority of this episode is definitely going to be, I guess you could call it the second reunion half with Jaime, Bran, that whole situation, preparing for the incoming siege, perhaps some stuff with the Greyjoys, Cersei, the Golden Company. That'll be the chunk of everything. Probably 85 to 90% of the episode. I'm just really crossing my fingers that they set aside at least 5 to 10 minutes so we can get some White Walker action. Because we didn't get squat in the first episode, beside from jump scare.
Yeah, agreed. The thing is the rumors that's floating, and obviously rumors, believe what you wish, is that we're not going to get any White Walker until the 3rd. But then again, it could be very easy for them to do the hero standing on the wall, staring out into the darkness, and literally the final few seconds of that episode is you just see 2 blue eyes light up in the dark, and then go out. That would be a very good ending, especially if they go with my idea of just streaming round Winterfell because it's not important. People keep thinking the Night King thinks like a human. Why do people keep thinking like this? This dude has an outlook that is so far beyond anything the humans of this world could possibly understand. It's ridiculous.
And actually, that's a very good point you bring up, because I didn't think of this until just now. The Night King's demeanor is the exact same, almost literally shot for shot, in the way that he moves and acts, specifically facial expressions, as Bran now that he's become the Three-Eyed Raven. And again, we know the magic of the old gods is responsible for both of them. So it wouldn't surprise me, and this is something I kind of theorized on a while back, but I'm just now remembering. How much of a kick in the pants would it be for Jon if he's the one to kill the Night King, or whoever kills the Night King, that also kills Bran? Like, let's say the Night King manages to destroy all the weirwood trees, completely incinerates the God's Wood, and that basically ends him and Bran both, because now the old gods are dead. Because we know the old gods are the religion of the children of the forest and the first men.
Yeah.
That's an interesting dynamic. And again, their demeanor just completely emotionless. We know they're both wargs. We know they can both see each other. And old Non was likely correct. The Night King was a Stark. And we've seen Bran in the warg world, as I call it. They can physically interact with each other. So it wouldn't surprise me to see both of them die simultaneously at the same time. Or even if, I know it's a common theory, even if they are the same person. Because George R. R. Martin loves his time loops.
Can I chuck an idea out at you? Have you noticed that every time the heroes have got involved with anything to do with the White Walkers, the White Walkers' entire reaction to them is sort of a, oh, great, whatever. Literally bored with the humans. Like they just, whatever the humans are doing doesn't matter. We are insects in their way. We are a minor irritation. I love that about the Night King. His disrespect towards humanity. It's beautiful. It really is.
Well, in the way they all look at everything, and I kind of feel like the Night King sees through the eyes of everything the same way that Bran can do when he wargs and looks into the past or potentially the future. We haven't really seen that yet. But it's almost like the Night King sees through the eyes of every White or White Walker. We've seen it with little boy Umber being stabbed and hung up there on the wall. We've seen it in the way he looks when a White Walker looks at a particular individual or particular character. It's like he knows what's going to happen. Like he has that, oh, it's you sort of look. Like he already knows.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's very much a case of, oh, whatever. And they just carry on and do what they're going to do. The humans are literally just in the way.
Well, and that's also kind of how the feeling I get, and I've made this argument before, agree or disagree. The whole battle at the Frozen Lake where he actually kills Viserion, that whole thing was a trap so that he could acquire an undead dragon. It's like this whole thing has been planned out already because, and I'll bet my money on it now, the Night King, just like Bran Stark, the Three-Eyed Raven, can see both into the past and the future, potentially. We've been told that. So how interesting would it be if Bran can see into the past, but the Night King can see into the future? And that's why everything's been so methodically planned out. Like they are two dynamics of the same coin. That could be an interesting twist.
That's actually not bad. I like that.
It wouldn't surprise me knowing what George likes to do with continuity and time, the way he treats time and chronology. That's the word I'm looking for. It wouldn't surprise me that if the Three-Eyed Raven is the one that sees into the past and the Night King is the one that sees into the future. So all of this is predetermined.
Which actually explains what I was saying about the expressions on the walkers' faces whenever the humans do stuff. It's very much a case of, oh yeah, I forgot you lot were around.
Yeah, it's almost like that. And the way that we see Bran's visions into the past, it's broken. It's only significant periods that change the course of history that Bran is able to see, like with Hodor or with Jon Snow, or to piss off Mad Dodge, Aegon Targaryen's birth. It's the wedding between Rhaegar and Lyanna. It's only significant events. Everything else is kind of just broken history. Sort of like a timeline. So if the Night King is as old as we believe him to be, it's possible that he's seen into the future. So when those significant events happen, he knows that's a crucial event, and he can shape the way things are going about in order to achieve whatever end goal that is meant to be. I could easily see that being a major plot point towards the end of the series.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So, any last thoughts about the trailer or what you think's going to happen in the next episode?
I just really hope the ending of this episode is the Unsullied lined up in formation, the Dothraki ready to flank, and then you see the army of the dead in the distance, the coming snowstorm. You see all like little dots of blue eyes and everything. And then, as everybody's getting ready to battle, you just hear the roar of undead Viserion in the distance, and as it fades to black, or even better, as the snowstorm rolls in, and everything just goes dark, and you hear the undead dragon roar. That would be
that.
I would be okay with that ending.
I like that. That's good.
That is pretty good. I think it's going to end like what we saw in the trailer. You're going to see the horse, the undead horse, cut into the frame, and then it's going to hit black. I think it's going to be just like the trailer for the series that had shown it. So that's my theory. I don't think we have much more left to say on this one, and I don't want to bring any politics into this at all. I want the Game of Thrones stuff to stand alone. So I think we're going to wrap it up right there, unless you got something else, Goku.
Mad Dodge, are you saying that we're beating a dead horse here? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much. Huh? But no, everybody, right after the episode drops on the East Coast and we watch it, we will be live, just like last weekend, with our very fanboy-filled reactions.
Oh, I can't wait. I just hope this episode is not as fast-paced and a little more fleshed out than the first one was.
Absolutely, and hopefully we get a good turnout for that stream like we did last weekend. Thank you, everybody. If you're new and watching this, please like, subscribe. The Patreon and the Streamlabs is also in the description. We'll be back tomorrow with regular news and politics, I think. Unless Jensen is feeling up to talking, then we might do another Quinspiracy. But good night, everybody. We're out of here.